Hey, I'm Carson22. This is a Doomfist guide for console. If you're on PC, the same techniques will work, however, this guide will be catered towards console players specifically. I'm a Doom 1 trick, but about 70 hours total on the character. I've hit Diamond 4 in Roku, as you can see here. I tend to not play any other tanks, just Doomfist. Here's my settings and my controls, just so you can copy exactly what I'm doing. Having a high sensitivity is pretty important on Doomfist. This is because you need to do techniques such as punching in and slamming out. Doing this on a low sensitivity isn't really ideal because you just turn away so slow and this can leave you open to getting shot at. Here's my controls on Doom. One thing that isn't shown here is my ping button. That's on L3, just in case you're wondering. One very important change is binding your jump button to something that allows you to not take your thumb off the right stick. This makes it so where you can do some certain techniques a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to talk about Doom's kit now. Doom has 450 health, but he doesn't have any armor. This makes him a little bit more squishy than tanks like Reinhardt and Orisa. And his primary is his hand cannon. The hand cannon does 5 damage a pellet and it has 11 pellets. This makes it to where you do 55 damage a shot and 110 a headshot. The first ability is Seismic Slam. This ability makes Doom slam in the direction that he's looking. It's on a 7-second cooldown and does 50 damage to anyone that it hits. This ability is good for positioning and it does a good amount of splash damage. Doom's second ability is his Power Block. This ability makes Doom take 80% less damage from frontal attacks, but you do have to keep in mind that I only said frontal attacks. So if somebody's shooting at you in the side or the back, you'll take that full amount of damage. It's best to look at whoever's shooting at you so you can take the most amount of damage reduction possible. Big thing about Power Block is if like that meter on the right side of your screen, if it fills up, you'll get Empowered Punch. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But that meter is 100 damage, so if people do 100 damage to you, you get Empowered Punch while you have block on. His third ability is his Rocket Punch. It propels his whole body forward. If you hit somebody with it, it'll do 50 damage. If that person that you hit also hits a wall, it does an additional 30 for a total of 80 damage. Also, if they hit a wall, they'll be stunned for 0.25 seconds. The stun's really nice because it allows you to stun people out of their ults, like Mora and Sigma. I say stun, it's a little bit misleading, but if you just punch them at all while they're ulting, it breaks them out of their ult. Doom's passive, it's called the Best Defense. It gives you 35 overheal for every enemy you hit with punch or slam. It also gives you 75 overheal per enemy hit with your ult, but this only maxes out at 200 extra health. Doom's ultimate is Meteor Strike. If you hit an enemy with the inner ring, it'll do 300 damage. Any enemy hit with any part of the ultimate will be slowed down by 50%. If you hold down L2, you'll zoom out, and you can get to high ground if you need to with this. Now that we've covered the kit, let's go over some movement techniques. The first tech I'll cover is Slam Cancel. If you activate an ability while Doom is in the slam animation, you'll keep your momentum. You'll gain additional momentum depending on how soon you cancel the animation. You can also press slam twice to cancel the animation. However, there is a delay in the casting speed, so you'll not gain as much momentum. The second tech I'll cover is Punch Cancel. Doom can jump while in the middle of the punching animation to keep momentum. This allows you to go much further with punch than you normally would be able to. Combining the first tech with the second tech allows Doom to traverse vast distances by looking up, slamming, and then punching. And then, toward the last few frames of the punch animation, you can punch cancel to keep your momentum. Doom can also combine the first two techs by doing what's called a Super Slam. A Super Slam is just a punch cancel into a slam. This combines the momentum of the punch and slam, and it just sends you flying. One other somewhat niche movement tech is called the Turn Punch. While you're in the middle of a punch animation, you can look to the left or right and then jump. This will carry your momentum to whichever direction that you look at, and this can be pretty useful for getting around the corner quick. One very niche Doom tech is the Object Punch Bounce. This happens in the middle of a punch animation when you bump your feet against an object. This can propel you vertically and sometimes diagonally, and can be a useful way to get into high ground without using your slam. Another somewhat niche Doom tech is B-out punching. This is a somewhat complicated tech that can be used to catch an enemy to catch somebody off guard. To do this, you slam without jumping, hold the jump button throughout the whole slam animation, and then charge punch before you hit the ground. This will make your character bounce off the ground and keep some forward momentum while the punch is charging. Here's a clip of me using this tech to knock people off the map. There's some other Doomfist techs like cart punching, but I'm not going to be going over those because they're pretty situational. Now that we've covered some techs, let's go over some gameplay. Using Tower is a great map for Doomfist. This is because of the close corridors and the ability to knock people off the map. I start this game off somewhat passive as I don't get another team composition. I hear Bastion go into Terraform. Since Doomfist is one of the squishiest tanks, I wait until Bastion is out of Terraform or distracted to make any major plays. I get a nice 3-man punch here, however I don't get any kills. In this situation, I should have targeted the Bastion with the punch and killed him. This mistake makes us lose a team fight, and now I have to go regroup with my team. I noticed that my DPS is cooking up, so I joined to pick off any stragglers. The Rhine and the Bastion come back. I use punch on Rhine, so I slam away to avoid being pinned. Also, slamming here puts me in a position where my support has line of sight on me. I walk back up to try and contest the height, and the Bastion and Rhine are in my face. I quickly punch the Bastion away and try to get an empowered punch after he refused the corner. Unfortunately, my character teleported to me while I was slamming away. In a situation like this, it is better to try and keep your support alive. I noticed that my teammates are not here, so I quickly farm empowered punch and then I run away. This slam was meant to get me out of that doorway, however I messed up and now I have to use my ult to bail me out. I use my ult offensively because I know I have 2 cooldowns to be able to get out of any situation, and right after our ult, I punch the Disruptive Soldier and the Rhine and then I slam away towards where I think that my support is going to be. This fight is now a 5 vs 4, and we have the advantage. With this in mind, I start to play more aggressively and get empowered punch from the Bastion. I aim for the Moira in the back, as that's the only support left, and once the Moira is dead, it's just clean up from here on out. I stand on the Kiriko and I try to stagger her, but she teleports back to her team and now she's safe. On the left side of this door, there's a ledge. I know that if I get empowered punch, I can knock people off the map. The first punch doesn't really do much, so I get overly aggressive and put myself out of position to try to knock the Bastion off the map. This was a mistake and I paid for it with my life, unfortunately. I return to the point and I start playing passively again. I aim to punch the monkey that just dove my backline, however I notice that I can't hit him from where I am, so I turn around and I hit a pretty nice punch on the Junkrat. Once the tank dies, the fight is pretty much over. I punch the Moira to get rid of the support, and my team cleans up the rest. I punch and stand forward to take some space, but I see that the Winston is right there. Normally, I'd try to back up because my support isn't really here yet, but since I have my ult, I play pretty aggressively. I slam in, look left, and then punch 2 people off the map. Even if I get caught out, I still have my ult, and I can get out of any bad situation. I punch the monkey off too, and by now it's pretty much just GG. One more notable thing I do is I try to punch the tire. This normally disrupts it and makes the Junkrat not kill anyone with it, but unfortunately I miss. But it still doesn't kill anybody on my team, so I mean, I guess it's okay. with that game over, that's gonna wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, have a good day.